Okay, Predecessor's newest hero, Bayle the Betrayer, has been getting a lot of love amongst the mixed reviews. Some are comparing it to characters like King Arthur from Smite. I personally don't see it, but that's not what I want to talk about today. One of the bros, Trace, made an interesting point. He was surprised I didn't recommend Salvation as an item to go with Bayle's passive. So I thought, why not open the discussion up for everyone? I'm listing what I am certain are the top 6 items for Bayle the Betrayer, based on pure ability synergy. I can think of a few more that will work well, and if nobody can guess out what they are and why in the comments, I'll make a part 2 breaking them down as well. Fair? Alright, let's get into it. The boy Trace already covered the first pick, but these items are in no specific order. Salvation is a top-tier anti-burst pick, providing physical power, max health, and tenacity. Keep that tenacity in mind. Salvation's passive Aegis is a lifesaver for most heroes, but for Bayle it does so much more than just sustain him, it enhances him. Aegis grants a shield to Bayle after going below 30% health and grants him 10% Omnivamp for 6 seconds, which is a lot by item duration standards, but is also around the same amount of time that Bayle's ability Dire Howl will last. Now, we don't know exactly what percentage of health triggers Bayle's Berserk passive, so bear that in mind. But Aegis will trigger at around the same point that Berserk does. And if you follow that up with Dire Howl, which we also know provides Omnivamp, you see where this is leading? Just Bayle's ability set alone makes him a dangerous hero when cornered and weak. Salvation can very easily turn the tables when he's in that situation with it equipped. I said in my hero overview video that a tainted item against Bayle is a must, and I meant it. Now, Salvation works amazingly well with 2 of Bayle's abilities, but we know there's even more coming behind homeboy Bayle. He's going to be the first hero to release with the basic chain attack feature, and Bayle is a simple 1-1-2 pattern. Just this alone makes attack speed a viable stat for Bayle, not to mention his Curse Edge ability. But the quickest dump in attack speed for Bayle's chain can be achieved with 1 item. Let's take a good look at Psionic Echo. This item gives Bayle 45 physical power, 7 physical penetration, 10 ability haste, and 12% lifesteal, but no health or defense. That lifesteal will be your only source of sustain if you pick this item first, but it may be all you need. Echo's passive Duplicity reads, on ability cast, your next 3 basic attacks within 3 seconds gain 45% attack speed, and for melee heroes, activating Duplicity resets your basic attack cooldown. That passive alone spawns a completely new playstyle for Bayle, one in which you're weaving abilities in between chain combos. Let's break down exactly why this pairs so well with his basic chain attack. For Bayle specifically, Psionic Echo supercharges his basic chain attack combo. His 1-1-2 chain basic attack combo benefits massively from the 45% attack speed bonus, which literally applies to the next 3 basic attacks. If you weave an ability into every combo, that gives you a 9-hit burst window before cooldowns. If you see a bruiser Bayle building this, expect him to dominate early trades and try to distance yourself from him as soon as he casts an ability. You won't be able to avoid everything, but looking out for that 3rd swing will save you some chunky damage. For a tanky Bayle, this item might not be a first item pick versus some of the other choices, but there is no doubt it has a spot on every Bayle build at some point. Now that we've covered Psionic Echo's fast-paced combo boost and Salvation, which are both strong contenders for a bruiser or a tank Bayle build, respectively, let's look at an item that doubles down on survivability. Next up, we've got Legacy. This item gives Bayle 35 physical power, 225 max health, 40 magical armor, and 20% tenacity. And before you write this off as a tank-oriented item, that's the same amount of physical power as Earthshaker. Its passive, Tenacious Bravery, reads, when your health drops below 40%, you cleanse all negative debuffs and become immune to crowd control for 3 seconds. Now, this passive doesn't just make Bayle harder to lock down. It fundamentally changes how he can play around his abilities in tight fights. Let's explore that synergy. Legacy is essentially a defensive anchor for Bayle's low health playstyle. Both Legacy and his Berserk passive trigger around the 40% health threshold, giving him a second win. This means he gets improved movement speed, improved tenacity on top of the 20% on Legacy already, attack speed, cleanses all debuffs, and becomes CC immune for 3 seconds once he hits around 40% health. Yeah, let that sink in. Legacy works for both bruiser and tank builds, and let's not forget, if he hits 40% health and he's trying to get away, you can't CC him out of that aerial slam leap or slow down his improved movement speed. Do I need to add any more points or? Okay, but this is how we begin to see how insane this guy is going to be. Legacy sounds like it was made for Bayle, but we have to remember that the passive has a cooldown of 2 minutes. The next item we're looking at focuses on armor scaling, and this one doesn't have a cooldown. It's on go at all times. Next up, we have Aegis of Agawar. This item provides 20 physical power, 400 max health, and 15 critical chance, focusing on both durability and a touch of offensive power. Its passives are Bludgeon, which gives a percentage of your health as physical power, and Aegis Protection, which grants 10% of your total physical and magical armor, increasing to 25% when your health drops below 40%. Are you guys beginning to see the pattern here? Aegis of Agawar is all about amplifying Bayle's durability in those critical moments. Its low health scaling armor synergizes directly with Berserk, letting Bayle stay in the fight and still be a threat once Berserk is on cooldown. This means he can fully commit to Dire Howl Healing Burst or Kingslayer engagements without being instantly burst down. For tank-focused builds, Aegis is a powerhouse for surviving off-lane duels and chaotic teamfights, whereas bruiser builds could justify not building this as a first item if they really want to take over their lane. Next up, we're taking a look at an item that capitalizes on Bayle's mobility, which is the part that gets spoken on the least. Next is Berserker's Axe. This item gives Bayle 40 physical power, 300 max health, 15 ability haste, and 3% movement speed. Perfect for a hero that wants to dive into the fight and stick to targets when they land. Its passives are Blitz, which triggers after dashing or leaping to empower your next basic attack within 3 seconds with bonus damage, and a slow. And Mist Runner, which grants 15% movement speed for 1.5 seconds when crossing a fog wall. That combination in one item of empowered attacks and mobility really sets up Bayle's aerial slam to hit with maximum efficiency. Let's dig into how this works in practice. Berserker's Axe turns Bayle's mobility ability into a high-impact tool. Its Blitz passive empowers the next basic attack after a leap or dash. The damage is a good bit of burst in itself, but the additional slow allows him to stick to targets for Dire Howl and Curse Edge follow-ups. Mist Runner's movement speed bonus helps, even if it is more of a case-specific benefit. This item is especially ideal for a bruiser build, enhancing his aggressive combo potential and punishing mistakes in lane position. But I don't know if it would be the best first item to work on. For a tankier build, the movement speed, health, and Mist Runner passive could be arguable points, but the slow that comes after leaping makes it viable. And finally, let's talk about Draconum, an item that boosts Bayle's sustain through combat and synergizes beautifully with his healing toolkit. I need to really explain how this one works with Bayle specifically, because it only does well under certain circumstances. But let's cover the item stats first. This item provides 45 physical power, 400 magical armor, and 15 ability haste. It's designed for sustained combat, but is usually built for heroes that have built-in healing mechanics like a Crunch or Greystone. But never mind flow. For now, let's talk about Surge. Surge is particularly interesting because it directly interacts with Bayle's trading pattern and Dire Howl's Omnivamp. Here's how that synergy plays out in the fight. The Surge passive increases healing when he damages heroes. Makes sense since that's mainly when he's going to need it. So if we imagine an engagement in offlane, you're going to get 3 hits with Curse Edge before leaping in with Aerial Axe. That's 4 stacks or 8% healing by the time you start using your basic attacks and actually trading blows. If you give a few basic swings and use Dire Howl strategically, you'll be gaining up to 20% extra healing on the Omnivamp that Dire Howl provides, plus the burst of healing you receive at the end of Dire Howl. The extra health on takedown isn't the reason we choose this item, but it's a nice top-up once you win that offlane duel and want to clear the last wave before going back to base. The stats are exactly what a bruiser build would want to buy, as it enhances every aspect of his toolkit at the expense of health, which is only a must-have for a tankier build. And that's it, my top 6 items that truly synergize with Bayle's abilities. Whether you're going bruiser or tank, each of these items brings something unique to his toolkit, from boosting combo damage to providing survivability in extended fights. Let me know in the comments which of these items is your go-to first pick on Bayle, or if there's another item you found works surprisingly well. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more in-depth Predecessor content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.